Perfect.
Did that feel natural?
No.
We've been living in Australia for 3 months now. We came over from Canada on a 417 working holiday visa, and we did quite a bit of research before coming here, so we felt mostly prepared, and we didn't expect to be surprised by anything, but that's not the case. So this video is going to cover 10 things that shocked us from our time so far in Australia.
Tipping is not expected. I think one of the first things we did when we got here to Australia was go out to eat at a taco place just down the road. And tipping is a big thing in North America. So when the bill came and when I went up to pay, I didn't know if I was supposed to tip or not. I kind of just paid the bill itself. And then I was just trying to just kind of see if there was like an option that popped up on the screen, like asking for me to put a tip in.
Yeah.
And nothing did. I paid with cash, and then they just gave me my change back, and then they just walked away, which was the perfect thing, because I think if she'd given me my change back and then just stood there looking at me, I probably would have then started giving her more money, more money back.
And we Googled it at the table, and Google said not to tip. So we didn't tip, but it still felt really weird.
Yeah.
Walking out of the restaurant.
Yeah, I'm so used to paying like 15%,
At
I think
least,
it was.
yeah.
Yeah, on almost anything you ever purchase, within reason. I'm not gonna give a tip to Subway. Maybe that's a hot take.
Yeah.
But so now that there's no tipping here in Australia, it's kind of just nice, because you just know exactly what you're gonna have to pay, and then you pay it, and then you leave, and there's no like judgment.
And then there's no pressure to feel like if you don't tip somebody, that you are taking away from like their livelihood and their wages, because wages are actually just pretty decent here, even in like the service industry. People are paid a fair wage. So I mean, I guess they say tipping is optional, but nobody really does it because people can actually make a living off of working in the service industry in this country.
I wonder if Australians like being tipped. Is it like insulting, or do they just like the free money?
I think anyone would like free money.
Let us know in the comments.
This is interesting though, because I know in Canada, at least, if you're working in like a service job, like you're a waitress or something like that, you typically want to work evenings and weekends because that's when you would get better tips.
Yeah.
But here, as a customer, you're typically paying a service charge, normally around like between 5 and 15% if you're eating out at a restaurant and it's the evening or a weekend. And basically this just translates into higher wages for the staff that are working those hours. Like you did a little bit of time in the service industry. It was a thing that if you were working after 6 p.m.?
I think so, yeah.
And then if you worked on like a Saturday or a Sunday, certain times you would make what they call a penalty rate. So you make a certain amount more per hour on top of your normal wage.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it's basically just the customer. It's kind of like tipping, I guess, but it's just all baked in. So there's no question about it. Like it's just what it is.
I think we've eaten out a total of like 3 or 4 times in the country.
Yeah, eating out at restaurants is pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Which actually leads us quite nicely into the next section, which is wages are significantly higher. Minimum wage is high enough that people working in like service industries, hospitality, basically anything that would be a minimum wage job, it's a livable wage. I think it's around, is it $27 or $28 an hour?
I think it's 25 because I'm considered casual, so I get loading on that.
Yeah, there's all these different rates that can get added depending on like if you're full-time, if you're part-time or casual. There's like different rules around what you get paid, but generally speaking, minimum wage is a heck of a lot higher than it is in Canada.
Yeah, I think you would struggle to find a job that would pay you less than $30 an hour in Australia.
Yeah, it seems like that.
So I mean, just to be a bit, I guess, more transparent around wages here, when we first got here, the first job I was able to get within like a day or two was doing dishes at a pretty decent restaurant, I think. And I was making $30 an hour. And then I switched from that to a charity job. And both of these jobs were considered casual. So because of that, I was essentially making like $25, $26 an hour plus a top up essentially, because I don't get vacation or anything like that. So right now my job is considered unskilled and I make almost $34 an hour. You don't get like sick days, you don't get vacation, but also since you are casual, you can just take any days off you want. Jess, on the other hand,
I'm actually making substantially more in a similar role than I was in Canada. I'd say it's about 30% higher per year, per hour, however you want to look at it, from the job I was doing in Canada to the one I'm doing here, which is admin for like a larger childcare service. Even when you take into account the like exchange rate, yeah, I'd say it's about 30% more that I'm making. It's pretty darn good. I'm pretty
Jess makes more money than me.
I'm the breadwinner.
Yes. Prices already include the tax. So something that I really love here in Australia, all the prices you see already include the tax. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like you go to a restaurant, it says it's $30. The bill comes, it's $30. And I mean, we've already been here almost 3 months now, and I'm still surprised because I'll go to Apple and I'll purchase a new phone and it's exactly what they say it is. I think maybe online when you make some purchases, it could be, there's like some taxes sometimes I see.
I think that's more so they just have to show you the breakdown. So it's not like there's no tax on anything. It's just already, they have to show you the final price on the shelf or on the website or wherever you're purchasing from. It's just already baked into that final ticket price. So then if you're buying something online, it's more likely you'll see it. But it is on your receipts. If you look at a receipt from buying something in store, it'll have like the grand total and then it'll still have the breakdown of what the cost was and then what portion of that was tax.
It's just really nice.
So nice. You
think
just know
everyone
what
should
you're
do
going
it.
to pay.
Yeah, there's no like $9.99 and then you get to the register and then you purchase it and it's like 12 something.
Yeah.
If it says it's $9.99, it is $9.99.
People actually leave work on time. So logging off at the end of the day and leaving on time is a completely normal thing here. And it took me, well, not too long because I mean, it was really nice, but it still probably took me about a week of work to kind of get into the groove of actually like heading out the door when my shift ended at 4:30. In previous work back in Canada, you finish at 4:30, but you're expected to be at your desk working until 4:30. And then, you know, you're done. You can get up, you get your stuff. By the time you actually get out the door, it's, you know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Something comes up, you wait, you have to stay an extra 20, 30 minutes, and that's just kind of what it is.
Yeah.
But my first week at my job, I'd finish at 4:30 and I'd be walking out at like, you know, 4:35. And by the time I'd walk out through the front, like the whole office was dark. Like everybody was gone. Like people just actually log off and leave on time.
What I thought was interesting though, I don't know if it's the same at your workplace, is that there's a lot of people coming into work early. Because every place that I've worked here so far is incredibly generous with breakfast. Like there is fridges and freezers dedicated to like every type of milk you can think of. Bread, Vegemite, butter, everything.
Jam, peanut butter,
Toasters,
fruit.
everything. Like people are going in and they're literally just having like full breakfast. Like if you forget to eat at home, you can just go to work and have breakfast.
People do it all the time at my work. Raisin toast, and we've got an espresso machine at work too that and they supply the pods. I try not to abuse it, but I'm a big coffee fan.
Yeah, we have
and
like
it's just, it's so, I know this might sound very trivial, and especially if there's like Australians listening, you're probably like, that's cool. But that's just not a thing. I mean, maybe it's a thing in Canada, but I've never experienced it.
Out of
where
all
you
the
get
places,
anything provided to you like that.
Nothing.
But yeah, people come in early to, there's someone at my work who showers. She goes to the gym and there's a shower at work.
There's a shower at my work too.
And people will like go to the gym and then come to work and shower at work and then start their day.
Yeah. It feels very much like what you would hear about in like the tech industry, where everything's like, you got like games and you've got food and you've got showers and people use them. But no, it's just like literally. It's
like work-life balance is really great, but then also just the way you're treated at work, generally speaking. And I know I keep saying this, but that's not necessarily the thing for every single job, but I mean, we've both pretty much experienced it. Slang and swearing are everywhere. So first of all, Australians shorten any word they possibly can.
Yeah.
Everything is a short form. I know most people have probably heard of things like Arvo for afternoon, Servo for service center. There's just a lot of words that they've either just shortened and added an O to the end. It's just really, really common for there to be like kind of everyday slang that everyone's using constantly. It almost feels like another language. Sometimes it can be very hard to keep up.
I have to keep constantly asking people. They'll say something and I'll be like, I don't know what that means.
I don't know what you just said.
Exactly.
And it's normally a combination of just a phrase or words that they say that you don't know what it is. And then for some reason, when they say those words, their accent just really seems to shine. And I just have a really hard time understanding. I had a coworker recently say something about how, oh, this person's gone straight down the gurgler. And now they didn't pronounce the R's like I did, but the gurgler. And they said it so fast that I was like, what did you just say? And then they had to explain it to me. And for those who don't know what it means, it's just like they're gone down the drain. They've gone down the drain. That's just what it meant. But it was just my brain just like froze. I was like, I have no idea what is happening right now. Another one that I've been hearing a lot at work is people say ta, which means thanks or thank you. I don't know if you knew that or if you've heard that before.
No, I don't think so.
Like if someone asks me to hand them something and I hand them something, they'll be, oh, ta. I don't know if they say it like that's ta. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, everyone gets called a legend here. You're a
I've been called a legend a couple of times, and it feels really special when an Australian calls you a legend.
Yeah, it's like you fit in finally.
Yeah. Besides all the slang, like swearing is used frequently.
Yeah.
It's just like normal part of the conversation. It's very casual. Even at work, people swear all the time. The C word is thrown around more frequently than I've ever experienced. Basically, nobody says that in Canada. No. And it's not like they're saying it in every sentence, but I've heard that word spoken more times in the last 3 months than I think I had the rest of my entire life.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of things said. Just a lot of, everyone's very relaxed. It seems in like the workplace, no one really, I guess, takes offense to anything. But I've heard some things that were like, you lose your job in Canada. Like people saying like heinous things, like to a group of people.
Or to like their superior, like a boss or something. And you're just like,
that's exactly what this situation was.
Are we all gonna get fired?
Yeah, so it's interesting.
Oh, and then last one I swear. But this happened just this past week and it was in an email, so I was already kind of reading into the tone. But I had told someone something like, oh, I needed them to wait a little bit, like sit tight, I'll get back to you. And then when they responded, they said, no drama, like get it to me when you can. And I initially read it as like I took offense to it a bit. Like I thought they were saying like calm down, like it's fine. But I've recently learned shortly after that, no, it just means like it's fine. Like no problem, like don't worry about it. Like because they say no worries a lot too. No worries, no drama, like they're not bothered.
The wildlife is not subtle. When it comes to the wildlife here in Australia, it is, I'm gonna just make some wild assumptions here. I think Australia has done a better job with like animal conservation than probably Canada has. The density of wildlife here in Australia, especially in like urban settings, is really impressive. The amount of crazy big birds, bugs, spiders, parrots, like just wildlife that you'll see just in downtown is pretty surprising.
I mean, I haven't really seen much in the way of crazy bugs downtown. I've only seen one like kind of bigger spider, and I think it was in our first couple of days here, and it was outside on a sidewalk and it was dead.
There was that huge spider that I sent you a photo of.
Oh, that's true. I forget that you kind of go out to the suburbs, which it's more of a thing in the suburbs, like spiders, snakes. We've seen one snake, and we were in East Brisbane at the time, not downtown in Fortitude Valley where we are now. And it was probably like 4 or 5 feet long. But that's the only snake that we've seen. But then I have coworkers who live out in the suburbs, and they're calling snake catchers every other week, which is an actual like full-blown job here. Like it's a very common job to catch snakes from people's houses and yards.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of possums.
Really cute possums. Apparently they're quite a nuisance to people as well, but I just think they're so cute.
Yeah, 100%.
Also wasn't expecting last week walking to work downtown to just see a bush turkey running down the street. I know you haven't seen one yet. I've seen 2.
Yeah.
What? I was not expecting that.
There's also bin chickens, and they're walking around like downtown. They'll walk into like restaurants because there's no walls on restaurants here, so they'll just like walk in, and they're big. Like they're,
I would say not quite like Canadian goose size, but
yeah,
they're pretty big,
Yeah.
and they look prehistoric.
So yeah, I think it's just probably due to conservation efforts here in Australia. There's a lot of like green space in and around buildings. Like just on our balcony here, we've got a lot of like tall plants. I haven't told Jess about it yet, but there's 3 spiders on the balcony yesterday, and I don't tell her this because then she won't go out on the balcony anymore.
How big were they?
They're pretty small.
Oh.
They would just have long legs.
No, don't tell me. Why are you telling me this now? Now I can never go out there again.
Because-
I enjoyed our time on the balcony.
Because of the ecology of the area.
Okay, so this makes more sense why you were saying spiders, because they do exist downtown.
Yeah,
I've been sheltered.
We have dense bush outside.
I had my arms like all in that bush because we put lights in it yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, we're 27 floors up, so I mean, they're everywhere. Yeah, anyways, almost got taken by a pigeon today, but that's not really special.
But the birds are crazy, like lorikeets, cockatoos.
Yeah.
There's some really like raptor-looking ones with really long legs at the park.
And there's sharks in the river out front there.
Bull
and-
sharks, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a wild place.
You also almost got taken out by what we learned was a currawong. We thought it was a
Oh.
magpie.
Yeah.
Dave tried to fly his drone. We didn't realize there was likely a nest or something nearby. Don't get hurt. Oh, Davey's coming.
We're not doing that anymore. They're just angry
And
birds.
this bird just, well, apparently they're not normally.
You can be barefoot in public. So this is something that I really enjoy because I guess I'm just lazy when it comes to putting on shoes. Whenever I can go anywhere and I don't actually have to wear shoes, like I'm going down to the lobby, going in the elevator, throwing out trash, I just don't wear shoes.
It's a big thing here.
But it turns out it's a big thing. You'll see like kids sometimes and adults like in the city just walk around with no shoes on.
It shocked me.
Yeah.
Which maybe it shouldn't have shocked me as much as it did, but
It's kind of fun.
yeah.
You would never see someone running around Toronto with no shoes on. Yeah.
It's not me being judgy. I'm just so like, my head is just, I still haven't quite like wrapped my head around it. I don't think I could do it, but you're loving it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I stepped in something wet in the hallway though. I had to shower after that. Maybe people don't care when they step in something wet in downtown with no shoes on.
Open air dining is like a really big thing here, and not just outdoor patio seating. Like a lot of restaurants and cafes will just have like full walls that aren't there. Like they're just missing a wall.
Yeah.
And that's just the restaurant. Most cafes, I would say, they're not closed in. There's no AC. It's just open air.
You don't have it in Canada, or at least where we are in Canada, really, because
6 months of the year, there's snow.
yeah, it's just nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very unexpected, though. I don't think I've ever seen that or noticed that anywhere else that we've been.
No.
At least not like this. And it's pretty similar with housing, too. Getting a place here, even though it can get very, very hot in the summer, it's not a given that the place that you're living is going to have AC. Like you have to double check. If you're looking to rent or anything like that, you need to double check that they actually have air conditioning because it's not a given. Thankfully, we do. We made sure we were going to. But also our sliding door out onto our balcony goes like all the way.
It's like an accordion.
You can just have it fully open if we turn the AC off, and we just get like this really nice breeze.
Living logistics are different. And when we say living logistics, let me try to encompass what this actually means. When you're in Canada, everything is done two ways. Everyone is usually always paid every 2 weeks. And then everything else after that, when it comes to like reoccurring costs, is always monthly. However, in Australia, pretty much everything's weekly, which is nice in that you're very motivated to cancel things. You don't forget about something because it's every week you're just getting hit with the fee. Most people I think get paid every week. Oddly enough, we both got into jobs that pay us every 2 weeks, so that feels normal. But if we got paid weekly, that would be wild.
It does work out nicely though because we get paid on opposite weeks.
Yes.
So we do get a paycheck every week, which is really nice.
That's true. So when it comes to our rent here, for example, we pay $600 a week, which is $2,400 a month. And in Canada, we paid $1,800. $600 a week feels good for us, especially with our pay. Another thing that I thought was kind of interesting, and you can chime in here too, since you were the one who looked for the apartment, was that we went with a furnished apartment. Because if you get an unfurnished apartment, it may not have a fridge or a stove.
No, washing machine.
Washing machine.
The two things that typically aren't included if you're not getting a furnished apartment are the fridge and the washing machine. They'll often still have a stove and a dryer, typically.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you would have to like BYO fridge and washing machine. That's one of those things where when you're looking for a place, if you don't want it furnished, you really have to double check whether or not it's coming with that fridge and washing machine.
Yeah.
Because that's a pretty big upfront cost otherwise.
Another thing that we thought was interesting, and I don't think it's the same in Canada because we've lived in a lot of apartments. And once again, it may not be an Australian thing. It could just be this one apartment, but I have no other reference point. We pay a fee for just having the wires in the wall, essentially. It's like a service fee. So the fact that we can have power to this apartment and the fact that we have, I think, water that runs to this apartment, we pay a flat fee of like $1.50 or $1.20 every day. So that's like $30 a month or $35 a month.
That's before using anything.
And that's before using it. That's just the pleasure of being able to turn the lights on. And then we pay electricity on top of that. We have yet to pay a bill here because we've been here for such like a week.
Yeah,
a week and a half. I think we're gonna end up paying like $100 for power a month, I think. It's weird. So, I mean, like we're paying rent weekly, we're paying utilities monthly, we're paying just for our water usage, only our hot water usage, I think. And that's gonna be every like 3 or 4 months. Then we have internet, which is monthly, cell phones are monthly, the gym is weekly.
Yeah, my Pilates studio that I go to weekly.
It's all over the place. The weather is really unpredictable.
The weather is wild.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just because it's Brisbane or because it's Australia and you're just surrounded by the ocean, but weather just blows in really fast and really aggressively. We've only been here a couple months and we've had like 2 or 3 really intense storms where there's been like a lot of property damage. We got caught in one of them and there was hail. The wind force was probably some of the craziest I've ever felt in my life.
Yeah, and we were outside. It was not great.
Yeah.
And the amount of lightning.
We're just coming into summer now, or I guess we're in summer now.
Yeah.
It is not uncommon to see lightning every night, every other day. On the horizon, there's just lightning. And it's just, maybe the storm won't actually hit you in Brisbane here, but there's a lot of storms. And when it does rain, it rains really hard. It rained last night. Usually the rain hits and it's in and out in an hour, and then it dries, and then it's just no clouds.
Yeah, and that one storm that we got caught outside in, the hail that was hitting us downtown was like marble sized.
Yeah.
But I had coworkers that had just absurd property damage, windows broken because it was like golf ball sized hail.
We haven't even had like real storms. Like this
Yeah.
is just like the normal
I know
storms.
people just keep saying, wait till the summer, because
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh my gosh, it's so hot out. And they're like, it's not even summer yet. It's like, oh, okay. So that's it. That's 10 things that were just really unexpected and somewhat shocking. Some more than others, but yeah, since we've been here 3 months.
All in all, it's been good.
It's been good.
been
I
good.
know this sounds like we've just been really stressed. No, it's been really, really good. We've been really enjoying our time here. And we've got lots more to explore and hopefully share over the next little bit.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.